Hi guys, I'm Simon, this is Red Western Bushcraft, and in this video I'm going to show you how to tie your shoes. Stay with me till after the intro and I'll show you how. You've been tying your shoes wrong this whole time and never knew it. Super clickbait, isn't it? But yeah, I did work in an outdoor shop for a few years and I learned a few tips and tricks and strategies on how to tie your shoes to make them as comfortable as they can be. So I'm just going to point the camera down and I'm going to show you how I tie my boots. I'm going to talk through the processes and I might jump to future Simon when I get home, and I'll take like my fell shoes out and I'll show you a few of the techniques of tying and things like that. Right, come, let's go. So I've got particularly wide feet, so what I want to do is I want to give my toe box as much movement, as much freedom as I can. So what I do is, rather than crossing my laces all the way across, they loop in over themselves. This means each section has its own friction point, and when I pull it tight, these parts don't get tight. I use these friction stoppers here to get all that slack so my toe box can be nice and wide so my feet can move around. I do an overhand to lock all that off in place, and that separates the bridge of my foot to the ankle portion of my boot. Now what I want to do is I want to bring my ankle in, and I want the knot to be where my foot meets my ankle to move that pivot point. So I'm going to go over my middle set of eyelets. I'm going to miss the first set completely, and then we're going to go over the top and under the very top ones, and that locks my tongue and my laces and all my ankle support in. If you look at the side of the boot where the leather makes that V shape, it's pulling from the heel over the bridge of the foot. And then finally under and over the bottom set of eyelets where I can tie a knot nice and easy. What that does is puts all the knot and uncomfortable part on the pivot point of my foot. Okay, it's pulling from the top of the ankle, top of the eyelet inwards. Okay, I've got support from the middle and support from the bottom. What it's not doing is, if I was to tie it where it comes up to the top like that, it's not putting that knot and that pressure into the tongue and into the foot, and every time I take a step I'm not getting those hot spots on the top of my foot. And that is how I tie my shoe. That's not how you should tie your shoe, but it's a process you should think about. So your end goal is where you want support and where you want the knot to be. And the difference between going over an eyelet and coming under an eyelet is about 1 centimetre, now maybe 5 mil. And that could be the difference of resting on a tendon on top of your foot and sitting snugly where your foot meets your ankle. Now for an extra special one, when you're doing your first loop, rather than going over, if you go under and through, the lace fits horizontally and you don't get that upside down annoyance. And that is how I tie my boot. Okay guys, so this is my trail shoe. And what I've done to allow even more room in the toe box, when lacing them up, I've actually missed crossing over on that first set of eyelets, and I've started crossing over from the second up to the top and then do the rest as normal. And all that does is stops any tension going across the widest part of my shoe. Now if I found that pulling the laces had an impact on it, I could loop over itself and create those friction points like I've done with my boots. I've never found it's needed, but combining this technique with the other ones I've shown you will really create that bespoke fitting shoe, and it'll fit your foot shape for the terrain you need, and it'll be perfect. Okay, right, back to the past. So there's one more thing I almost forgot. Whether you've got narrow feet and you're trying to keep your boots nice and tight, or whether you've got wide feet and you're trying to give them loads of room, you can try putting an overhand knot before your top eyelet. That way it gives an extra bit of friction and just a little bit more control over how tight you pull your laces. I hope the bootlace techniques help. Please let me know if you get any good results from them. And like I say, it's not about mimicking how I do it, but using the idea that it doesn't have to go bottom, middle, top on your quick eyelets. Try going over the top first, going all the way down. Every pair of boots I own is a slightly different system, and the difference between going over and under makes worlds of difference, I promise you. Right guys, so we have passed our 500 subscriber mark, and a few weeks ago I set a challenge for you, and all you had to do is write in the comments below your favourite piece of tech, favourite kit that nobody's talking about. Now what I did is I took all of them and wrote them down on a list, and I spoke to my 2 children about it, and they've decided that equipment that nobody talks about is
the rucksack.
The rucksack. Now I think a rucksack's great because it's the sort of thing that everyone talks about what goes in the rucksack. It talks about what to carry, but we never talk about how you carry it. Girls, what were your reasons for picking the rucksack?
My reason was because people will be talking about how much they're going to put in it and like what stuff they think is going to fit where, but they never talk about the actual rucksack that they put in the stuff into.
And what were your reasons?
Because it's big and you can fit lots
Because it's big and you can fit lots
of things.
of things. Now the comment came from Eric Bancroft 5093. What I'd like you to do, mate, is go onto our Facebook page and just drop me a message, let me know who you are, and we will try and sort out how to send one out to you. Right, thank you very much. On with the show.
Bye bye.
So if you did like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you weren't a fan, give me a thumbs down if you want. For some great videos up here somewhere, for my latest video down here, and over this side if you want, compass, hit subscribe. Hopefully by now we'll be over that 500 mark, and yeah, we'll have a new goal to reach. Take it easy, see you in the next one.